G'day guys, ArchieLuxury channel, Paul Pluta channel, and today I want to talk about how to get a discount on a new Rolex Steel Sports watch. How to get a discount on a brand new Rolex Steel Sports watch. Guys, I gotta tell you something. I've been on YouTube since 2009, and the market for wristwatches has been up and down. It's been a roller coaster ride there. One of the hottest brands of wristwatches of all time is Rolex. And I gotta tell you, the market for Rolex is always strong. There's a saying, very, very famous saying that Tom Bolt said, stick to Rolex and Patek and you won't lose much money. Now, I gotta tell you something now. Patek Philippe, I love Patek Philippe, but you know, they've always been a very special niche. They're like the Rolls Royce of watches. The brand that everyone really, normal schmucks like you and me, get into is Rolex. So how do you get a discount on a Steel Sports Rolex? And the answer is, I'm very sorry to say this, it's bloody hard. It's bloody hard. The whole marketplace for Rolex itself is an artificial Ponzi scheme. See, what has happened is, in the last couple of years, Rolex has been actively reducing the number of dealers. This has happened not only in Australia and Asia, but in places like America, they've been reducing the dealers. Rolex has also been putting a lot of dampeners onto Rolex retailers. Now, this is a very tricky thing because in Australia, some parts of other Western countries, you've got a lot of legislation. These liberal left-wing governments come in and they try and stop price collusion and price fixing and this and that. However, what Rolex has done is they have been very brutal on their retailers. What they've done is they don't want retailers discounting product. In fact, if a Rolex dealer discounts too much, he can get into big trouble and possibly lose his agency. Now, the situation is this. What Rolex has done is they've taken the Hermes business model. Now, Hermes is that luxury ladies. Well, actually, that's not true. They're not ladies. They make men's products too. They're a luxury French design. Hermes is famous for the Birkin, the Kelly bag. They make John F. Kennedy's briefcase was an Hermes, pronounced with a silent H, H-E-R-M-E-S. Now, basically, on the Kelly and the Birkin, Hermes uses a very clever model. They're never available. They're not in store. You've got to go on a waiting list. And that model has been very successful because it's allowed Hermes to sell these products at full price, no discount, and the customers just can't get enough of them. That same business model Rolex has applied to their range, where what they try and do is they have limited the amount of Steel Sports watches that they supply to the dealer. Now, it's quite interesting. Rolex themselves there, when a dealer orders watches, he's actually got to order an assorted tray. It's like you can't just order chocolate nougats. You've got to order a certain number of Turkish Delight, a certain number of caramel creams, certain number of strawberry squeeze. You know, you gotta strawberry cream. You know, you gotta order the ugly flavors as well as. So when you put an order in, you just don't say, I want this, cherry pick it. I want Steel Daytonas. I want Submariners, Batmans. You can't exactly do that. You got to order a broad scope, a tray of goodies. So this is what happens here. Now, I gotta tell you the truth there. How do you get a discount on Rolex? And I've got to be completely honest with you. It is very, very hard. What Rolex has done in Australia is, and this is happening, a good friend of mine went to America. He reported major shortages of steel sports watches, like the Daytona. Very, very hard to get. Batmans are in short supply. You got to go on a waiting list for a Batman. Submariner dates, no date subs. These are all hot, in-demand watches. So it's a very, very much a situation where Rolex has been reducing supply. Now, what the situation is that on the secondary market, this is grey market dealers, they have been selling these pieces, steel sports watches, steel sports Rolexes, at a premium. So often the price, take for example a Rolex Batman, well, you're going to pay a premium in the pre-owned grey market. You're going to, even though it's a second-hand good that's been used, it's actually going for more than retail. So it is a very tricky thing. How do you get a discount on Rolex steel sports watches? And the answer is, it's very, very difficult. It is very, very hard. How do you get a discount? Well, I can tell you honestly, in Australia where I'm from, the most you can hope for is to get these pieces at retail. No discount. That's correct. Gone are the days of expecting a discount. Discounts themselves are very, very hard to get. Few and far between. If you want one of the hot Rolex models, say for example the 43mm Sea Dweller with the red writing, waiting list, no stock available. Steel sports Rolexes, Submariners, no date sub, even the two-tone bluesy sub. These are very, very difficult to get. So I gotta tell you, let me update it. Whereas a couple years ago, you could get a discount, you could get 10% on steel sports Rolexes. Those days are gone. Those days are gone. In fact, you've got to pay a premium for these on the used market. Now, I got to be honest with you there. This is a very, very fickle market. Any hot Rolex fits this situation. For example, the Rolex Sky Dweller in steel with the white gold bezel, that's selling for a big premium over retail on the grey market. That's another piece. So it's not just steel sports watches that are hard to get. Now, the thing is, two-tone is, however, easier to get, except with the bluesy. Two-tone GMT, two-tone Daytona, two-tone Datejust. These are, now the Datejust isn't a sports model, of course, but those there, they're easier to get. So you've got to be careful. You don't fall in the trap of thinking, hey, I can't get a Daytona, I'll get a two-tone one, because the two-tone one is nowhere near as desired on the used or secondary market as the solid steel one. So what is the answer to get a discount on Rolex? And I gotta be completely honest with you. In Australia, most of the Western world, are people getting discounts? Yes. A good friend of mine, he is getting discounts. Not much of a discount on steel sports Rolexes. He's getting 5% discount. How is he getting the massive discounts? Well, this is highly confidential, and I'm only doing this for my viewers who are watching, who are loyal fans here. The answer is, He's got a contact who does buy a lot of wristwatches. So if you are a big fish in Asia, you can get some discount on these watches. Some of them are selling for a premium, even though these are dealers, they will charge a premium. But some, they will sell at slight discounts. It depends on your relationship. Now, if you're just a schmuck, a normal middle-class guy, buying their first Rolex, how do you get a discount on Rolex? Steel Sports Rolex? Very, very hard. It's really not going to happen. It is not going to happen. How do you get a discount? I'm sorry, guys. I don't want to lie to you, but for the normal middle class person who is buying their first or second watch, no more discount anymore. You may get 5% off on some of the less desirable Steel Sports models, less desirable being the Rolex Explorer 2. Less desirable being the certain Milgauss. Explorer 1 is a little bit softer. But realistically, guys, I'm sorry. The normal person, the normal middle class person, the best you can really hope for is to buy your Steel Sports Rolex at cost. That is it. I'm sorry. I can't do anything more than that. I'm sorry. I wish I could give you more than that there. I really do wish I could, but it don't work that way. I'm sorry. It just doesn't work that way. I wish it did. I wish I could give you discounts and tell you how to do it, but it just doesn't work that way. So, to be honest with you, Rolex Steel Sports watches for the normal middle class guy, you're lucky to even get a watch, yet alone a discount. So, no, that's over. Those days are over. Two-tone is a different animal. Two-tone is a very, very different animal. You may get discounts on two-tone, okay? I wouldn't buy a bloody two-tone without a discount. That is for sure. Two-tone, you know, we're talking sports Rolexes. Two-tone, you really, the bluesy Submariner is high in demand. Very hard to get a discount on that. But Daytonas, they're soft. Believe it or not, they are soft in two-tone. That doesn't mean they're garbage. I didn't say that at all. They're a lovely watch. In fact, I reckon they are a very, very sexy watch. So, you may be able to get a discount, no huge discounts. You're not going to get discounts like 20%. Very, very hard. Datejust and day dates. Well, this is the whole Rolex bullshit scheme. See what's happening there is they think because certain ones are out of supply, it flows on. They think, oh, we don't need to discount the Datejust. So I got to be honest with you. I wouldn't buy a new Datejust. I just would not buy a new Datejust at all. I would not buy a I wouldn't buy a day date new. I just would not buy these new because you would need to get substantial discount. A good friend of mine, he fell in love with the Rolex Air King. That's the new Air King, you know, with the Air King with the gold and green writing. So he wanted one of these. He went into a Rolex boutique and no discount. Went to a couple of stores in Sydney. Ah, no, we don't discount that, sir. So he bought one. Guess what? He's now realigning his collection, and it's next to impossible for him to get his money back. He should not have paid full retail for that. That was a stupid thing to do. Stupid. That was very, very stupid to do that. I told him, I said, hey, you paid retail. He liked the watch. Okay, he's not huge out of money, but what I'm trying to tell you is the boutiques, because they have this bullshit persona now where, you know, Rolex is artificially limiting supply. It makes people think the other ones, they won't discount them. So you got to be careful. So I got to be honest with you, it's a supply and demand thing. Rolex is being very, very clever. They're playing the market like a fiddle. Very, very tough to get discount. Rolex is pretty atrocious, really. I mean, they're playing the market for suckers. Now, the funny thing is, could other brands do this? And the answer is no. See, Rolex is not a commercial business. It's a charity. See, when Hans Wilsdorf died, he didn't have kids. And he kind of left this to a foundation. So they can afford to ride out the market, and they can afford to make their competitors go broke. Whereas someone like, say, Breitling was recently taken over by a bunch of investment bankers, a hedge fund, a capital group, who they want results now. So Breitling, they've got pressure. These people have bought this investment group. A bunch of greedy fucking bankers have bought Breitling. They want results. They want to see this great luxury investment they've made. So they're in a different position. They're probably highly leveraged. Like most bankers I know, they're full of shit, and it's all borrowed smoke and mirrors. So they need to service this debt and reduce it. So they're under pressure to ramp up production and move product. So they're not in a good argument situation. So Breitling now, because these bunch of greedy fucking bankers have moved in there, it's turned bad, very bad. So that's what's happened to Breitling. A brand like IWC, very soft. Another great brand, Panerai, very soft. They're owned by the Richemont Group. Richemont, I don't know what's worse, being owned by Richemont or a bunch of greedy bankers. And Richemont, they own Cartier, they own Vacheron, they own Jaeger-LeCoultre. But when it comes to money, yeah, you guessed it indeed there. They are nasty. They want a return on investment. Whereas someone like Rolex, well, it's a foundation. They can hold it out. They can pay the poker with a huge pot. They'll eventually smoke you out. So, you know, this is a very interesting game that's being played in the marketplace. Does it make Rolex more desirable? Well, Rolex has always been desirable, but it's pretty crazy what has been happening. The marketplace is very, very strange. It's a very strange marketplace. The best thing I could really say to the viewers in the audience is, it depends what you're getting. If you want to get a Rolex, not much discount there. If you want to get certain other brands, so you would think if it's Rolex prices are, you know, there's a limiting supply, but these other brands are flooding the market. So brands like Breitling, they're really, they're fighting for consumer dollars. Now, the interesting thing is, Rolex may be limiting supply on Rolex, but what are they doing with Tudor? So, because that's owned by Rolex, and they're using a different business model. They're entering a lower price point. They're releasing hip, cool models like the Tudor Heritage. They're doing all the cool things, in-house movements. They're doing deals with Breitling to do swaps on movement technology. They're doing all the smart things. So could you get a discount on a Tudor? Yes, you can. They're using a different business model. And that just shows you how bullshit the Rolex Ponzi scheme is. It's really, they're playing the consumer for suckers. See, Tudors Tutors are available. They will discount tutor. Let's see next week. I'm actually going to be buying 2 new watches. I'm buying 2 new watches. Brand spanking new. Brand spanking new. Brand spanking new. And brand spanking new. And guess what, guys? Guess what? Guess what? Brand spanking new. I am going to show you how to get the deal of the decade. So don't be shy. It's all coming on the ArchieLuxury program. Hi guys, ArchieLuxury channel, Paul Pluta channel, and my good friend Tanzillan answering super chats. It's not about the money. It's not about the money. I feel like I'm doing my passion. Tanzillan, simply the best. And he's got another one for you here. How's this? It's not about the money. It's not about the money. It's my passion. Shackling on time. Simply the best. Now, guys, I got to tell you, I struggle to survive full-time on YouTube. Please look in the description below for 10 ways you can keep me full-time on YouTube. Guys, I really need your help. Please consider getting a paid video review. I'll do a review on any watch, any question you want. Guys, you can sponsor me on Patreon. You can sponsor me for as little as $1 a month. $1 a month, and that just keeps me going on full-time on YouTube. Guys, you could also, I do phone calls. You can talk to me for an hour on the phone, Skype or WhatsApp, for $50 US. Guys, I really do need your help to stay full-time. Men cannot survive on Google Ads alone. Please help me. Please help me stay full-time on YouTube. And guys, don't forget that it's not about the money. It's my passion. Shackling on time. Simply the best. Tanzillan, thank you. That's a sponsored bit from Tanzillan. I can do that for $150 a month if you email me directly. Look below for my email address, guys.
Okay.